Are working into the night up in Carson City, putting the final touches on the state budget. The session ends Monday by law, and as usual, one of the most closely watched issues is how much money schools will get. Today, another warning from the union that represents thousands of local teachers. They will strike unless schools get enough money. Our Jeff Gillen joins us live in front of Rancho High School with more on the union's message. Jeff?
That's right, Jim. Good evening. Las Vegas, good evening to you. I want you to keep a number in mind. It is 74. That's the number of days until the next school year. Here's the question. Will there be teachers in the classroom?
We're fired up! We're fired up!
The union that represents 10,000 Clark County teachers had an answer today. Jim Frazee teaches social studies at Del Sol.
Come August, if this is not fixed, we will strike.
As lawmakers wrap up their work in Carson City, the Clark County Education Association is making sure its message is being heard hundreds of miles away. That unless adequate education funding is delivered for both classrooms and teacher raises, the nation's fifth biggest school system will get hit with a strike at the beginning of the upcoming school year. Your message to the governor and lawmakers is what today?
Do the right thing.
That's John Velardita, the union's executive director. He tells me lawmakers can do more. What they've done so far is rework Nevada's school funding formula. They've extended a business tax to funnel $100 million to education. They've directed all the marijuana tax money to schools. They've allowed counties to raise the sales tax for schools. Velardita says all that still leaves the Clark County School District $120 million short over the next 2 years.
Gap hasn't been bridged. We know that there's efforts being made on the part of leadership to try to bridge that gap.
In other words, his union is watching the final 3 days of the legislative session carefully. So's Paul Kleeman. Both he and his wife are teachers.
But we're both at the point where, we can't afford to buy a house. We can't afford to start a family. We need to have our education funded properly.
That's his message, and theirs. And back now live here in front of Rancho High School. Keep in mind, folks, 3 days left in the session. Virtually anything at this point can happen. Lots of horse trading going on right now up in Carson City. Yes, a teacher strike is illegal, but the union said today that they have happened in more conservative states where strikes are also illegal. Now, if the strike, and it's a big if, but if a strike does happen, the union says it will then call for a special session to get more money for education. Live in front of Rancho, Jeff Gillen, News 3, back to you.
All right, battle lines drawn. We'll have to wait through the summer, see what happens next school year. Jeff, thank you. And we're going